Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be the guide for 1-2 Shipwreck Shore. So last time we went through Mangrove Cove. We got all the explaining done there for a lot of the basics of the game. We went through Time Attack once. We're going to do Shipwreck Shore. We're starting with Diddy Kong. If we did single player strats, which is the strat that I like to use in my run. Co-op strats would start with Cranky Kong, but they would drop him after leaving the first stage. In order to keep it fair in timing, because Cranky does save a lot of time, they would open up the menu and they would go into options, I believe, and yeah, add drop, there it is. And they would just drop player 2 as soon as they get out of the first stage. And that just prevents you from having to pick up Cranky Kong as soon as you get into every stage. Also, when you use co-op strats, you can't change which Kong you use. You just always get a DK barrel. If you want to change which Kong player you're using, you need to be in single player mode. So, Shipwreck Shore, the reason why we're glad to have Diddy right now is because he actually finally gets to see a little more swimming, which is pretty much his only niche in this game. There is a Dixie barrel early on in this stage because they want you to be able to utilize all the Kongs. I'm just going to go over what I just kind of rushed through real quick. So when you start this stage, you're starting out right here by this plug. You can quickly just roll and jump over this entire gap. It drops down, but it's not going to stop you from continuing to go forward. You just do another roll jump, and the game is trying to tell you that you can grab onto any grassy vine area right now, but you don't need to do that just yet. You can just jump right over this thing. Now, this guy's usually not in the way. He's usually a little more to the right, but you can just roll through this enemy. And what I like to do when I'm approaching this ramp is I'll roll and jump, but I'll also tap left slightly once I jump so that I can grab this vine. As you can see, it's waving back and forth, so the moment the stage starts, you're kind of on a timer for a lot of the animations that the game goes through. And got it. Now when you get up here, when you're trying to be as quick as possible, and walking on this vine, or using this vine to climb around, is a little slower than rolling. So you want to land as soon as possible. You can land on the very left edge of this thing, but this enemy will usually hit you. It's not usually worth trying. So you want to make sure that you land on top of him, and that you land up here so that you can continue to roll. Now this Dixie barrel, these bananas arced are showing you that you can flutter with her hair in such a way that you'll collect all those bananas. But we're not using her right now. We're going to ignore her, and we'll pick her up later. And you saw how I kept all my momentum. That was from doing the tap bop that we went over in the first video off of that tuck. Now you can actually jump over this first block and land right here. And this shark will always jump as you're about to do so. You could just keep rolling, because in this game you're allowed to actually roll over water. So when he jumps in the air, you would normally just start rolling over here, and you could just skip across the water. 1, 2. And you could just keep mashing the roll for a while. You'll go through some enemies, just jump over this gap. Some more enemies. Now, when you get here, there are a couple ways you can do this, but essentially you're going to roll and let one bounce happen, and you'll just land on this platform in the middle. You'll either land on this side if you feel so, or I like to just wait until I get over him, and then just roll over onto this platform. Whoops. Make sure that you jump so you land on this platform. And then these bugs, they're constantly moving around, but if you keep going straight through, the bug on the right over here, the monocle Maggie, I believe they're called, the one that's beyond the flower, he'll actually be in the lowest spot right there. You can actually land on him and skip having to climb all these vines. So once he gets back down, and now we're in the water, and we can really see how Diddy improves swimming. This breaststroke really makes him go much faster than any other Kong because of how fast he goes. Learning how to control him is very important. Not so much for the first world, but when we get to World 4, that's definitely going to be very crucial. You can't really change your direction in the middle of a thrust. It's really hard to fight against it. You have to wait until after you come out of each one of them. You break these wooden planks by doing your corkscrew. You just go right through all of them. You also can break these boxes by doing the same thing. But you'll notice that because of Donkey Kong's hitbox being a little slimmer when he's swimming straight forward, you can actually use this to your advantage to swim along areas that you normally wouldn't be able to. So you can't normally fit between this enemy and the floor unless you have your body lined up. and then you can swim right underneath them. Same goes for this one. You can just slip right between them, and you break through this, come up into the air. Now doing a woohoo cancel on this is possible, but it's very difficult because of the fact that you're going in at such a sharp angle. It has happened a few times before, but it's not something that I regularly count on. In fact, if you screw it up, you'll bonk into the crates, which will cost you more time. So when you're coming up this section, you just want to jump up twice, and then this Dixie barrel, you actually want to take this one now because it makes the very end pretty quick and easy. You just want to make sure you do a roll jump. So you jump up here, and then you do a roll jump onto the Dixie barrel, and then grab it and break it at the same time. Very easy. Now for this, you have to slap it, but there is a small trick you can use to save a little bit of time. Whenever you slap a bouncy pad, you can jump immediately afterwards, and that'll kill the animation, because normally when you slap it, you go all the way up, which wastes some time. So you can actually slap it and then jump. You only go about half as high. And then as soon as you slap it, you just want to roll all the way across the water. And because of Dixie's flare, we can actually jump on top of this enemy, which is really nice, because her flare takes us so much higher than Diddy's hover. So what we can do is we can actually hover up, and then right onto the gold barrel. And you can actually do that without going all the way on the right side. So now this time attack is slightly tricky because of the fact that we start the stage with Diddy, but if we default the barrel, it will give us Dixie. And there is no Diddy or Cranky barrels in this stage. That's just the way time attack works. You can either choose to have the barrels as they would be in the stage, have them all Diddy, all Dixie, or all Cranky, but there is no way to start with a Kong. You always start the stage as if you're picking it from normal. And what we do in the 80% route is we always start with Diddy or Cranky. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the stage. Let's see if I can grab a Diddy real quick somewhere. Either one would take a while, so we're just going to go ahead and go through it again real quick. Oh, with Dixie this time. Try and go as quick as I can. Jump, jump, grab, pop, roll, roll straight through, bounce, jump, roll underneath. It's very good to have the first two stages in practice. You want to start your run strong. And this is again where Diddy would be very useful. It would really speed this section up. Not to mention, you do have a lot more control when you're controlling Diddy underwater. Bounce, slap, jump, roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, jump, wait a second, bounce, and that's it. And that's Shipwreck Shore. So on the next episode, we'll be going through Canopy Chaos, where we finally pick up Cranky Kong, and we get to see what he does. And there is a secret exit in this stage. We will be going over that when we cover the 100% tutorials. But you will be needing Dixie Kong for the secret exits. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care.